Montreal on a power play for another 50 seconds. Richards trying to scoot in there alone. Halak way out of the net. A pinball for the crease. Score! Mike Richards!
Oh, there's one that's going to go. Rebound score! Right in the shin! First NHL goal, and it's in the Winter Classic.
In front of Couturier, he scores! Sean Couturier
goes right down. This Parker, just by his reaction, is in some trouble here. He's going right off very quickly.
He scores! Sick move from Claude Giroux. He cannot beat it. Brizgalov to save the Flyers win the hockey game. Ilya Brizgalov.
Gardner likes to set up at that right wing offensive circle as he glides ahead here. Let it on to Giroux. Dances by. Crossover. He scores!
Yager up the middle. And a goal. He has his first. He scores! And one last.
Montreal moves on.
Tampa Bay gets the victory over the Penguins, 1-0. A second period goal by Sean Bergenheim, and the Penguins season comes to an end.
But watch Crosby there. He gets blindsided. I believe that was David Steckel that was going up the ice trying to draw on the play, jump into the play. There you see Derek England off the defense, moves the puck to center. Here's Crosby with a burst of speed up the middle, gets open and scores! Roger back, Sid.
Crosby, Kunis man, Neal shot. What a laser beam, and the Penguins make it 3-2. James Neal with his league-leading 18th power play goal of the year, and that's number 40.
He hands it off now. Here's Letang. Across the line, drops it back. Malkin cruising in, gets it to his goal. There it is. 50 for Evgeny Malkin.
And the Penguins
the faces of these guys as they begin the playoffs, and we'll listen to the crowd just to see if there's a build-up here before the opening draw. The draw won by Philadelphia. They try for Hartnell and get McCauley. There's one of the first hits. All the hit posts, everything else, it all starts anew. With Sidney Crosby burrowing in front, can't pull the trigger on the shot. Coburn able to get away and flick it along, but it's played by Sullivan for Dupuis. Caught by Crosby, dealt to the back again. Chris Letang fires one, and that one deflected around in front. Another shot, they score! Sidney Crosby strikes first, and it's 1-0 Pittsburgh.
The Wendy's Romo cam will show you the hard work of Sidney Crosby to keep the play alive against Creighton Coburn. The quick release by Chris Letang. A little rebound situation off of Grossman, and Crosby wins a race against Coburn. Off of Grossman, watch Crosby out-muscle Coburn at the point of attack. Up and over Brizgalov. 1-0 Pittsburgh. All hard work, all effort. Win the battle, spin off, get to the net, stick on the ice, spin.
Mandated by the Chamber of Commerce, the first goal of this series. Chamber of Commerce of Pittsburgh. Spiked away just beyond the reach of Yager. Borbone pushed it in front. Letang with a nice stiff backhand pass that can be carried on by Jordan Staal. Flyers hurry to get back. Staal fed it through. Score! Kennedy!
Neither can Yager, and Tyler Kennedy takes that nifty feed from Jordan Staal from the backhand to the forehand to the back of the net.
Pierre, at the top, you mentioned the speed and how quickly Pittsburgh can transition. We've seen that example and an earlier one, the reach by Crosby. There is a timeout. The Flyers are gathered around Peter Laviolette.
Right now they're losing races and they're trying to over-muscle situations. But it all starts with the Penguins because of real good defense. Down low, hard on the puck by Christopher Letang. He has great body position on Hartnell, creating a foot race situation. And you can see Yager just can't keep up. The hard pass, Yager wants to get back. He's got the right idea, but it's a great transition by the Penguins.
Kennedy from Staal at 7:49. The secondary assist, Chris Letang, who has assisted on both of the goals here at the start. Done. In particular, when you lead by example, many stories back through history of that. Off the outside of the cage, dug out there by Talbot. Talbot sent one in front. A shot by Couturier would not go. Puck escapes back down. Will it be icing? No. Canceled out by Sullivan's hustle. Lifted along further by Crosby. Sullivan, a little back pass in front. Off and around. And in! Dupuis!
Sometimes when you poke the bear, you get in trouble. Crosby keeps his play alive with a creative play to Sullivan, and then Sullivan with some more creativity out front to Pascal Dupuis, who establishes another one race against Nicholas Grossman. 3-0 Pittsburgh. Great coordination by Dupuis, but the creativity by Crosby to get that puck in deep and allow the foot race to ensue for Sullivan. Watch Crosby, wants the puck, wants it, and then smart. Get it up high, let Sullivan win a race. That's a thing of beauty and creativity.
Jostled there, gently bumped into Fleury. and it bounced to center. In their dreams, Penguin fans may have seen this 3-0 after 1. Now it's reality. Three by the Penguins, none by the Flyers after 20. Power play brought to you by Husqvarna. The warning call on Giroux at 3:04. Walked across by Neal. One-time shot by Malkin is grabbed.
Everything's right about the power play there, except no slot area presence. It's too easy a save for Brizgalov. The puck moves so quickly, Pittsburgh can never get anybody in front. Look how quickly the puck moves from Letang to Neal. Get it out. And breaks everything down. Kunitz pops out, but there's no slot area presence.
2 shots this period. Penguins have 2. Nice cut of the puck there. And right out of the box comes Giroux. He's got a man around in front. Giroux bit it! Oh, and what a save by Fleury on Hartnell! Asham starting it on ahead. Could not be handled by Vitale. Pushed on back, and it's a chance around in front for Briere. He scores! Danny Briere! A huge goal for Philadelphia. 3-1.
Talk about being an opportunist. Danny Briere gets knocked over and he's late getting out of the zone. Look how late he is. He's behind the Pittsburgh Penguin defense. Then a turnover, and Braden Shen, here's Briere yelling, I'm open, I'm open. Fleury commits down early and Briere takes advantage. But the Pittsburgh Penguin defenseman didn't track Briere. They thought he was going to go for a line change. He didn't. Instead, he stayed on the ice, and a nice heads-up play by Braden Shen. 3-1, Pittsburgh leads, but what a goal by Briere. Watch the puck flowing through the neutral zone, and watch Danny Briere. He is clearly offside by at least a foot. Brooks Orpik and Paul Martin didn't like it, but the opportunist Briere takes advantage. It's a missed call. You just move forward, but it shows you it's a game of inches.
But fed one in front, and breaking up the wing and having a pretty fair chance for his trouble was Carl. Centering pass in front. Oh, what a save by Fleury. That time on Voracek. Lilia tries the other way. Held there by Letang. Let one go. Then spiked loose by the Flyers. Oh, and a quick shot on goal. And out of that strange change that came from Crosby and is stopped by Brizgalov.
Letang did a good job keeping the play alive, and Crosby whips it on goal.
Matt Cook, but is brought back ahead by Kennedy. The turn, and the backhander is fought off by Brizgalov. Has not been able to score yet.
And if you think about it, if they have Conger and Mazaris, it's not a difficult thing. Look out.
Deflection there and a good glove by Brizgalov. That'll do it. 40 minutes are in the books. One bit of discouraging word at the end of the period. Linesmen move in to part them. 23 shots to 13 Penguins. 10 in that period to 7 for the Flyers.
And it's about accumulating hits over the course of a series. Craig Adams initiates with Braden Shen strong. Puts Adams right down.
With Hartnell. And that one is blocked off by Malkin and pitched away by Brizgalov. Malkin with it. Finishes one and a shot. Had to be handled by Brizgalov. Laid on back to Letang. Letang with a shot that's cut off right in front. And then lost in a shot. Oh, and a great glove save by Brizgalov on Sullivan.
Wendy's RoboCam will show you why this is such a good save by Brizgalov. It's read and react. Wendy's RoboCam will show you follow the puck. Then watch Brizgalov come right out. He senses danger. He knows, I better get out and make myself look big.
Penguins bring it back. Stahl walks it on. Shot one off the pipe. Do you believe in omens? Might have been 4-1. What happens now? Shot by Yager. Save. Marc-Andre Fleury comes up strong again.
Second time in the same shift for Jordan Stahl. He tries to go high glove side on Brizgalov. Working on Matt Carr. Is going to drive wide, start to push, goes high glove, and it fools Brizgalov, but the left post saves him.
Had it all the way.
Not even a shot on goal, Patrick Roy would tell you when he's playing in Montreal.
Much of the play was from the circles on out in the second period. Seems to have evolved a lot that way in the third, but will it continue? Hartnell trickled one in front. Rising backhander was blocked off by Fleury and cleared back out again. Will it be icing? Answer is yes.
Well, we talked about Brizgalov warming to the task. So is Marc-Andre Fleury. He's come up with some stellar saves in this game. It's a real nice job by Giroux getting the puck to Hartnell and then jump your defenseman in. Like you see Andreas Lilia do in that situation. Jump in, Hartnell puts the puck, tries to put it on goal, and he doesn't. And Lilia just beats James Neal for the net.
For NBC coverage in both Boston and Philadelphia. Turn around here by Giroux, and that one shut off. Giroux sees this one come back out in front of Yager. Can't convert, back in again, and can be played by McCulloch. Pushed it back up the defensive boards. It's hacked along by Stahl. Right after it is Yager. Yager fed one on to Giroux. On back to Cole. Oh, and what a save made by Fleury.
Yeah,
and it dropped back.
Yep.
Played along by Briere. Shot. Score! Danny Briere has made it 3-2.
I give Philadelphia a lot of credit, especially this line. Situation where they wanted the puck more. You could see it off the face-off in the offensive zone, and they started to make things happen. The face-off's won, but look at the pursuit. Danny Briere, great job battling. Shen, good job being strong in the puck against Martin. Then Briere just going to walk out. I think this goes off of Crosby and by Marc-Andre Fleury. I think it touches Crosby on its way to the net. Briere rotates out of the corner, and it does change direction as it goes past Marc-Andre Fleury. That's a great job by the Flyers. They lose a draw. They know where to go. They recoil the puck and put it on goal. 2 goals in this game for Briere.
Out by Giroux. Giroux fed it on across. And here's a combination in front that spiked up high and driving to the net. Was Coburn in this season. Laid back on for Briere, trying for the natural. A backhander is steered away.
Back. Philadelphia's taking advantage of sitting back. And now Pittsburgh's going to be penalized.
Interference is the call. The first power play of the night for the Flyers. Power play as they probe for the tying goal. Yager able to glide in. Passes back on to Hartnell. Fires and then deflected. Score! A tie game. Shen. 7:37 to go in the third.
Doc, what a play by Jaromir Jagr to gain the zone, and then the awareness of Scotty Hartnell to get this puck on goal to the breaking Braden Shen. Jaromir Jagr's going to take the feed, patience, break it down. He knows Shen, that is Hartnell knows Shen's going to the net. Look at the stick on the ice and a little chip deflection by Marc-Andre Fleury. Look at Hartnell's head. He's looking right at the target for Shen, driving to the net. What a finish and what a play by Scotty Hartnell.
Flyers led the league in power play goals during the regular season. Voracek turned around, dodged the check, and now it's led back on, and Couturier moving in. Jammed one that's fought off by Fleury. Led back on, and again it's James Neal. Got one back. Kunitz a shot, and that's stopped and covered by Brizgalov. 4:14 to go. Third period, 3-3. A bumpy ride to the finish. Yager French from the bench. Gets to center, lobbed it on a cross. On the money for Briere. Briere holds to the outside. Briere sent it up, hurried shot! That ricocheted off the glove of Fleury, and it came twirling back down the ice. Trying to get there is Sullivan. Grossman moves in, slammed by Sullivan. Puck winds up underneath, and Hartnell is there. Then Crosby, knife loose. Crosby threw one in front, and that directed just wide. Dupuis chopped it back on. 2:05 to go. In front, flexing at that one, Brizgalov as Crosby was hoping to poke it home. It can take all night. We will at least start that way. It will be one overtime. At least.
Kicked in here in game 1.
Andre Mazzaros has missed the last 6 from the Flyers defense. Make that 7 if you count this one tonight. Brizgalov 1-1 in overtime. 7-2 is Marc-Andre Fleury, and that one is right in on him, and the rebound. Oh, and Fleury dove across as the shot went wide from Hartnell.
Hartnell gets an opportunity. Look at the puck rolling around. Kennedy tries to make a play on it. He can't. And another rolling puck. And Hartnell just can't get to it. And Fleury's there. So he knows.
Post. Back came the Flyers to tie it. We are in the overtime period that has resulted. It is Giroux to get it there. Dropped it back on. Reed shoved it around behind. Voracek walled there, but gets back up to play. Taken to the outside and twisted one in front that's jabbed away by the alert Fleury in goal. Another try in front. Oh, it's deflected. They score! Voracek! And the Flyers have come from 3-0 down to win Game 1 in overtime.
Philadelphia just started winning races, Doc, and you can see it was a carryover into the third period and then into overtime. Winning races, Voracek keeps the play alive against Stahl. Stay hard on it. Spinning shot. Can't get to that puck. Kennedy can't get it on goal. Can't get to that puck. Stahl can't get to it. Voracek can't. And Philadelphia comes in here and wins Game 1 after being down 3-0.
They have played 7 times in Consol Energy Center, and these Flyers have won 6 of those, including this first one in the Stanley Cup playoffs. It came at 2:23 elapsed time in the first sudden death overtime period. 28 shots to 26. Pittsburgh 4-3 Flyers.
What'd your coach tell you during the timeout when you were down early in the game?
Well, he said that the cost comeback is for nothing, and we played well the second period, and we were struggling all year with the beginning of the games, and we get back and we get a win again, so that's great.
What was the feeling when you were down 3-0 and it looked like Ilya Ryzalov was really struggling? How'd you guys get it back?
Well, you know what, we were keeping it with the plan, staying with the plan, and put a lot of pucks at the net, and we turned around, which is great.
Jaromir Jagr, obviously a veteran presence from your same hometown. Did he say anything to the team during the game?
Well, he's a great leader, I mean, he's been in those situations so many times, and he just say we got to stay calm and play the same way like we did all year long, and it will be fine, and that's exactly what we did.
Thanks for your time, and keep having fun in this series.
It's a chance around in front for Briere. He scores! Danny Briere!
Watch the puck flowing through the neutral zone, and watch Danny Briere. He is clearly offside by at least a foot.
Welcome to the Stanley Cup playoffs presented by Geico. From Consol Energy Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, it's Game 2 of the best of 7, the Philadelphia Flyers and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Back in Pittsburgh, Game 2 of this best of 7 series. Flyers lead 1-0 following their 4-3 overtime victory on Wednesday night. Sidney Crosby and the Penguins hope to even this series at 1. Crosby will start the game with Pascal Dupuis and Steve Sullivan up against Zach Ronaldo, Max Talbot, and Sean Couturier. Marc-Andre Fleury to our left, Ilya Bryzgalov to our right. Crosby and Couturier on the opening faceoff. Flyers in white, Penguins in black. An immediate line change by Philadelphia.
Trying to get a little power on power. That's interesting. Trying to get Giroux against Crosby.
Crosby shoots, he scores! Just 15 seconds in.
Kenny, it's okay to change on the fly, but you better make sure you get guys moving when they change. Puck goes in deep. Everybody's kind of disjointed. And then the quick pass, Derek Engelland up the wall, stretches everybody out. Crosby gives it up, gets it back. Matt Call can't track him to the net. You're caught flat-footed. Look at 25 in white. He can't match the tempo. 1-0 Pittsburgh. Quick strike offense personified. But Kenny, if you're going to change on the fly, you got to make sure you're moving. Guys were in half-speed transition there. And now Danny Bialka, he takes Crosby off the ice and comes with his guys like Jordan Stahl, who he wants to play against Giroux.
Physical play by Pittsburgh as well.
Really backdancing. Wellwood is crushed by Orpik.
It's been this way all game long, and don't expect it to change now. That'll be an icing. And again, it's not going to change. Brooks Orpik. Steven Stamkos told me 2 weeks ago, Kenny, most physical defenseman to play against in the Eastern Conference. Brooks Orpik. Well, Eric Wellwood just found out. And Brooks Orpik's a stabilizing player who's so important to this Pittsburgh Penguin team. The privilege of working in Boston last night, Boston, Washington, and that was physical, but nothing like this. This series has got all kinds of physical play, and it started early and often. Nicholas Grossman, and then you see the pushback by Pascal Dupuis on Jakub Voracek, Kennedy and Shen pushing back and jousting. Everybody's getting after it.
Andy Briere, a pair of goals in Game 1, our Kellogg's player profile. 98 career postseason games, 98 postseason points. That's 7th among active players. Goals during the regular season. Puck set up the boards. Letang holds in. Now Malkin for Neal. In front, Kunitz, score! 2-0 Penguins.
What skill by Christopher Letang, a rolling puck, people on him, he keeps it alive. James Neal to Malkin, James Neal again breaks down Claude Giroux to Chris Kunitz, stick on the ice, and through Brizgalov. This whole thing starts with Christopher Letang's skill and poise on the back end, and we just talked about it, hard plays on goal. Nothing fancy, and everybody in black happy. And another timeout by Peter Laviolette. He's the king of judicious utilization of the timeout. And while Peter Laviolette tries to calm down his young team, this is what he wants to see. What you see from Christopher Letang, poised with the puck in the offensive blue line. You'll see this puck rolling, bouncing. They come hard on him. On his backhand, that is an amazingly tough play to make. Talbot can't keep it alive. Give and go with Neal and Malkin. Give it to Kunitz, 2-0. And Christopher Letang, after a pretty tough game number 1 defensively, has been rock solid here in game 2.
He sure has. And Peter Laviolette is steaming. His Flyers have fallen behind 2-0 Pierre for the 9th time in their last 14 games.
See, I'd do it the other way, and I'd say, we've been here before, fellas. We're good at this.
Pittsburgh shots. Neal, brought to the boards by Grossman, and the Penguins will go back on the power play. It is a hold. On the points for this power play, which is brought to you by Craftsman. Short-handed opportunity, saved by Fleury on Giroux. After the good work down low by Max Talbot, the former Penguin. Pittsburgh 0 for 3 in game 1. 1 for 1. So far tonight as Kunitz puts through, and then is stopped by Brizgalov. Back to Paul Martin, straight away. Crosby, across, Letang. Oh, what a save! What a stop with the catching glove by Brizgalov, and then Letang is knocked out after the save.
What a save is right. Letang is a left-hand shot. This is in the net. What a pass by Crosby. You see he's got to stop it for just a second, so Brizgalov acts like a lasso man.
Now, this is as magnificent a save as you will see in the playoffs, for that matter, any time of the season. Ilya Brizgalov had Chris Letang taking his time, going for the shelf right under the crossbar. Nothing but glove. Remarkable save.
Now watch here, this is Letang. And I think they're going to call him for diving and Reed just knocking into him a little bit because Letang was pretty upset.
Across to Sullivan. Sullivan for Paul Martin. And now a short-handed opportunity for Giroux. Giroux shoots, save, rebound, score! Knocked home by Max Talbot. A short-handed goal for the Flyers, cutting the Penguins' lead to 2-1.
See the importance of Letang. He was off the ice. And because he's off the ice, you've got Paul Martin and Steve Sullivan on the back end. And it's really a tough situation. Giroux, Talbot, super aggressive. Foot race situation. Giroux comes in. Nobody picks up Talbot behind the play. He finds a rebound and he makes it a one-goal game. What an acceleration play by Claude Giroux and a finish by Talbot. Doesn't take much. It just shows you the matching minors. The Tang's in the box. And all of a sudden it's a one-goal game.
Another quick change by the Flyers. Malkin with a drive, turned aside by Brizgalov. A battle between Malkin and Ronaldo. Play continues as we approach 1 minute on the clock.
There's been Couturier, Ronaldo, and Talbot against Malkin, Neal, and Kunitz. There you got a train wreck for Evgeny Malkin, Couturier, and Ronaldo, letting him know that they're both there.
After that brilliant glove save by Brizgalov on Letang. Here's Crosby. Drop pass. Martin shoots. He scores! 3-1 Penguins.
Paul Martin had a bogey on the short-handed goal, but he just made up for it because of Sidney Crosby and Pascal Dupuis. Dupuis with second effort. Crosby with awareness. And look at this skip. Sidney Crosby right to Paul Martin, who shoots it through Braden Shen to the back of the net. The creativity of Crosby in traffic, leaving it for the unmarked Martin, who snaps it home. But that's all. That goal is because of second effort by Dupuis, creativity of Crosby, and a smart play by Martin to put it on net.
Martin only 2 goals during the regular season. It's his 3rd career playoff goal. First 2 came as a New Jersey Devil. Time winding down in period 1. Pittsburgh Penguins led 3-0 after 1 in game 1 on Wednesday. 2 points for Sidney Crosby. He's in game 1. 5 so far here in game 2. Kunitz for Malkin. Backhand shot saved by Brizgalov. 35 seconds gone on the Flyers penalty. Another save by Brizgalov. This one on Neal. Now Letang for Malkin. Back out to Letang on the left point. Flies to his right. Back to Malkin. Pass deflects off the outside of the near goal post. Kunitz chasing in the corner with Coburn. Malkin for Neal. Oh, big glove save by Brizgalov.
One off the post, which is a little bit of good fortune. This is just skill. It's great puck movement by the Penguins. They wanted to make harder plays. Malkin with some nifty hands, but a better catching glove for Brizgalov. You watch the battle down low. Here are the nifty hands for Malkin right out front, and then the left hand going to work for Ilya Brizgalov off that Neal howitzer.
Here's Voracek. First Philadelphia power play. They trail 3-1. Timonen straight away. Near side Voracek. The flex back out to the point for Timonen. Watched by Dupuis. Kimo Timonen with the puck. Jake Voracek. Back out to Timonen. Voracek shoots, saved by Fleury. Puck is loose and Fleury gathers it in.
And he's heads up because Craig Adams didn't have a stick. And so now Ben Lovejoy will be on the bench and give it to Adams. Watch 27 in black. He knows that's awareness. He's trying to make himself look big. Fleury's aware there's no stick. Don't give up any more opportunities. Just get that puck, freeze it. So you can only be down 1 man, not 1.5 men, because when you don't have the stick, Kenny, a little bit tough to defend.
Giroux and Cook will face it off to the left of Marc-Andre Fleury. Voracek cross ice. Now Hartnell for Giroux. Out to Timonen, who fires at the flex wide.
Good job by McCall, kind of sticking the lane there.
Timonen moving to his right. Across to Claude Giroux. Voracek, met by Orpik. Hartnell with the puck. Off the skate of Cook, kept alive by the Flyers. Voracek fanned on it. Now it's Giroux. Out to the point for Timonen. Under a minute to go on the Flyers power play. Voracek comes to the net. Drop pass, the shot, score! play goal. Claude Giroux cutting the Pittsburgh lead to 3-2.
This is an impressive power play by Philadelphia. Excellent puck movement, very good awareness. They were 5th in the league during the regular season on the power play. They were 1 for 1 in game 1. And here you can see why. The poise with the puck, making good decisions, not panicking. Claude Giroux distributing the puck. He's going to get it back from Jakub Voracek, and he's not going to miss from there. He puts it right through. Fleury, get Orpek down. Good skills from Voracek, right through Orpek again, and then finally Giroux cashing to make it a 1-goal game.
Broken. England holds in left point. Shot gets blocked. Kennedy tied up. And now a lead pass and a breakaway opportunity for Talbot and a big save by Fleury. Stick checked away by Crosby. Sullivan feeds Dupuis. Dupuis with a shot at it. Check save by Brizgalov. Crosby and Zemanin in the far corner. Hall over as well. Dupuis looks to come out in front. Nice. Poke check by Brizgalov. Centering pass. Sullivan deep. Oh, another big save. Brizgalov. What a stop.
There because puck is nowhere near Crosby. Flyers moving up short-handed again. Giroux shot. He scores! Another short-handed goal! And the Flyers, where have I heard this before, have made it all the way back. It's 3-3. They love it in Philadelphia. Giroux second of the game as he scores for a case of Tasty Cake.
They've got 2 short-handed goals in this game and a power play goal. Now the game's tied. And they're working on Sullivan, a forward playing defense. Move it, get it, give it up, shot on goal, and Claude Giroux hammers it. Good give and go with Ian Max. Talbot aware, nobody picking up. Boom. The special teams battle is clearly in this series being won by Philadelphia.
And you were talking about that special teams battle with Peter Laviolette as the Flyers enter the zone. Oh, another big save by Brizgalov, and then Kunitz scores on the power play. 4-3 Penguins.
Well, you leave guys out when you want them to play guilty, and they wanted Malkin, Neal, and Kunitz to play guilty. Quick shot, and then watch the reaction of Ilya Brizgalov after the goal. It's amazing to see the creativity of Malkin, the shot on goal, a big rebound. Kunitz beats Coburn to the puck, and at the end of it, Brizgalov just launches his stick right into the glass. He's got a new one from the bench, but for some reason, he just lost it. I don't know who he's mad at. He's mad at somebody.
The goals were scored 6 seconds apart. Giroux shorthanded, and then Kunitz with his second power play goal tonight. Up the boards, off Giroux's stick, Zemanin holds in. Giroux once again, pressured by Dupuis and McCulloch. Simmons, Voracek, big save with the right pad by Fleury.
They're trying to confuse the Philadelphia Flyer bench.
Giroux keeps the puck alive, shoots, saved by Fleury, and then he knocks it into the corner. Simmons lets it go, and now takes the pass on the right wing from Shen, who is flattened by Neal.
She's fine. He knows he's going to get plastered, so he's got to take the hit, hang in there from James Neal. Just get the puck out. And it's fair game on both sides. Wayne Simmons right after Kenny Malkin. Malkin has a mark on him from that.
Here comes Couturier. Lost the puck. Down to 5 seconds. Coburn shoots, deflected, score! The Flyers tie it with 2.8 seconds remaining in period 2.
What a play by Braden Coburn. He knows there's virtually no time left on the clock. He gets a puck and he puts it on goal. And Sean Couturier, who's done such a great job checking, sticks it to the back of the net. See, Couturier puts his man down, so there's nobody marking up on him. The shot by Coburn, the juicy rebound. When you're watching that situation, Coburn has nobody in front of him because of the breakdown by the Penguins, and Couturier jumps on it and puts it by Fleury. Tie game. What a wild one.
We've talked throughout the evening about Couturier's tremendous defensive play in Game 1 against Malkin. He's been matched up with Malkin throughout Game 2. He scores the tying goal with less than 3 seconds remaining in period 2. So the Flyers come back from a 3-1 deficit. Puck played by Jordan Staal for the Penguins. 1 minute gone by. Third period. Now Kennedy with a backhand shot. He scores! Tyler Kennedy gives the Penguins a 5-4 lead.
Kenny, they started the period jumping right out of the gym, and this carries over. Look at how quick Jordan Staal is to transition this puck. They're working in a one-on-one situation with Braden Colburn, then a little chip play, and Staal goes to net and creates a little seam for Tyler Kennedy against Andreas Lilia. You see Lilia standing still. He's slow to get there, and eventually Kenny on the backhand puts it through Brizgalov. But the transition play to Kennedy to the back of the net, slow reaction with him, and he's backed it up so far in the playoffs. He's been excellent for them.
So the Penguins have had leads of 2-0, 3-1. Now Couturier ties it at 5. Sean Couturier with his second goal of the night.
Ben Lovejoy's going to want a mulligan on this. This is a bad turnover. And again, the gritty Philadelphia Flyers won't go away. Couturier with his second goal. Watch, Lovejoy tries to move the puck. Couturier with the good stick. He comes in all alone and beats Marc-Andre Fleury. And those are mistakes that can't happen. And when they do, you're in trouble. And it's because of the grit and the intentional fortitude of Philadelphia Flyers that they just won't go away. But for Ben Lovejoy, make the simple play off the glass and out.
As they came back from a 3-0 deficit, Penguins led this one 3-1 as Adams is stopped by Brizgalov, and then a late hit by Colburn on Lovejoy. 2 goals for the Flyers, their last 2. He tied the game in 4, he tied the game in 5. Now he shoots, deflected by Talbot, and a glove saved by Fleury as the former teammates come together. Now 25-22 Flyers. Staal unable to clear out, held in by Colburn. Bouncing puck, Giroux slides it across, Jágr and Lovejoy. Now it's Giroux. Out to the right point, shot, stick save, rebound, Jágr, he scores! Jaromir Jágr gives the Flyers their first lead of Game 2.
Englund and Lovejoy are on the ice. That's not the defensive tandem they want on the ice for Danny Bosma, but it's often icing, so you can't change. But Marc-Andre Fleury, this isn't good enough. This is a routine shot. Keeping the play alive. You see the matchup. It's just not right for Pittsburgh in this situation. Giroux keeps alive. This is no screen, no nothing. Freeze that puck. You know that's not the matchup you want. He kicks it right out into the slot for Jaromir Jágr, who's working in a one-on-one with Ben Lovejoy, and he sticks it. There's Braden Colburn keeping it in after Pittsburgh tried to get it out. They don't get it out. Keep it in, and Jágr scores. But Marc-Andre Fleury, Kenny's got to be better there. He's got to read the play and understand what's going on. Freeze the puck.
The Penguins no icing. Puck never crossed the goal line. Malkin for Kunitz. Stopped by Brizgalov. Now Kunitz with a wraparound attempt. He gets knocked down by Kubina. And the play is blown dead. Now Malkin stepped in between Neal and Talbot. Brienne. Flyers make wholesale changes. Sullivan in on the right wing for the circle. Has room. Shoots. Saved by Brizgalov. And then Crosby with a chance. It winds up in the catching glove of the Flyers goaltender with Kubina. Then in the corner by Cook. Penguins control. Shot. Save on Staal by Brizgalov.
Haven't seen a lot of mistakes from Philadelphia, but a lot of good effort there from Pittsburgh. Get the puck in deep. Get aggressive on the forecheck and watch Staal. He knows exactly where to go. Find the dead spot, coverage, get it to him, and he snaps it on goal quickly. And Brizgalov, sensing their potential for a rebound, says,
Now it's McCulloch up the middle off the stick of Staal. Carl can't clear. A drive and left-hand save. Loose in front. And it's headed to the side of the net by James Neal.
Look out. 2-on-1.
Here's Giroux with Couturier. Giroux in front. Score! A hat trick for Sean Couturier. The Flyers lead 7-5.
Steve Sullivan get caught at the offensive blue line. Watch him come down 26, try to keep the play alive, and he can. Then Giroux and Couturier are off to the races against Letang, and what a pass by Giroux, his 3rd assist of the game, to the man that has 3 goals in this game, Sean Couturier. What a play. Picture says it all, doesn't it, Ken? Phenomenal performance from Sean Couturier, Peter Laviolette, and the entire Philadelphia Flyer organization. And Kenny, when it was just a 1-goal lead for Philadelphia, James Neal's going to come in and put this puck on goal with Jordan Staal going to the net. It's a juicy rebound. Kunitz kicks at it off the shaft of Brizgalov, and James Neal that close to tie in the game. They went the other way, 2-goal spread.
Full comeback by the Flyers. They trailed game 1, 3-0 after 1. Came back to win in overtime. Trailed this game 3-1, 4-3, 5-4. And they are going to win game 2 as Giroux puts it into the empty net and sets a Flyers franchise record with his 6th point of the night.
Well, quiet building because of Claude Giroux and Sean Couturier and a little help from Ilya Brizgalov. What a game by Giroux and the Flyers. And for Dan Bilesma, back to the drawing board in a hurry. They have to tee it up 3 o'clock on Sunday in Philadelphia. You think that building will be loud, Kenny?
Wow. So a hat trick for Giroux, a hat trick for Couturier. Only Patrick Sundstrom, Mario Lemieux, and Wayne Gretzky have scored more points in a playoff game than Claude Giroux's 6 tonight. Sidney Crosby and the Penguins led 3-1 after 1. But the Flyers come storming back. Couturier and Giroux with hat tricks. The Flyers lead the series 2-0. They win game 2.
So far, a happy Flyers town. Welcome to the Stanley Cup playoffs presented by Geico. There were Stanley Cup parades here along Broad Street twice. It's been a while. After 2 come-from-behind wins in Pittsburgh, the Flyers are back to their home. Best of 7. Eastern Conference quarterfinal, the Battle of Pennsylvania. The Flyers and the Penguins. What a raucous house here this afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Mike Emery. The Flyers have been at Consol Energy Center in Pittsburgh a total of 8 times since that arena opened. They have won 7. Since Dan Bilesma became coach of the Pittsburgh Penguins, his team has come in here 13 times. They have won 9. Just a little brain candy.
So Pittsburgh comes to Philadelphia trying to stay in the series, Ray, and their MVP looks to get untracked.
Yeah, that was not a very good performance in games 1 and 2 for Evgeny Malkin. Couple assists in the second game, but both on the power play. But it's the goals against that Malkin's been on the ice for. -5 in the 2 games, and he spent much of the time stick handling almost by himself. When that Malkin line is at their best, they cycle the puck. Malkin uses his size, and he should be able to impose some will on the 19-year-old Sean Couturier, who has done a fabulous job on him in the first 2 games.
Malkin has 1 goal in his last 11 playoff games, and Sidney Crosby will face off against Claude Giroux, who's at a franchise record with 6 points, including a hat trick in game number 2. Pittsburgh has scored the first goal in both games, both by Sidney Crosby. Duclair with a shot. That's stopped by Brizgalov. Rebound loose in front, and Crosby skated by it. And that was almost first goal number 3.
Then Letang, then Kennedy, then a shot that skittered in and is carefully blocked aside by Brizgalov. Kennedy again, and a quick trigger pull there by Staal was blocked by Brizgalov.
Andreas Lilja feeds it across, Coleman to drive. Save is made. And Marc-Andre Fleury's got the puck as equipment. Zach Rinaldo's into it in front of the net. Gloves are off. In what has been a relatively tame series, there have only been 12 minor penalties in the first 2 games, but now Derek Englund and Zach Rinaldo are into it.
The temperature always gets turned up in Philadelphia. It's been that way for decades. Certainly long before I played in the mid-'80s, it was no fun over at the Spectrum. You come in here, the people are riled up, and you end up with more and more of this.
Stahl 3-on-2 Pittsburgh. Stahl working in, shoots for Stahl, and they score! Jordan Stahl dribbles it by Brizgalov, and Pittsburgh once again has the lead.
Gord, prior to this, in games 1 and 2, the Flyers hadn't got past 3 minutes and 43 seconds without a goal against. Well, this is 3:52, and the Penguins have an early lead again. You mentioned it, 3-on-2 on the rush. Paul Martin gets up, and that backs off Matt Carl. This shot goes through traffic, and it handcuffs Brizgalov. It's already past him before the contact is made. Wrist shot from Stahl through Brizgalov. It's into the net before Timonen and Chris Kunitz collide with the Flyer goaltender. Right underneath the arm, it catches Brizgalov, and again, the Penguins have the early lead.
Plays it along for Briere. Led to the back now for Coburn. Got it on to Carl. Save made by Fleury. Carl yet again. The big man able to step right back in. And then it's popped off by Richard Park. Good closure there, but he bounced off it. Got it out for Shen, whose shot was stopped by the netminder, Marc-Andre Fleury. The last 5 times these teams have met, the Flyers have won 4. In those 4 Flyer wins, the Penguins had leads of 2-zip or 3-zip, but lost 2 of them, including the first game of this series in overtime. Coburn gloved down, though, and kept alive and then knifed away from Walton. Played back toward him, but quickly sped along, and Letang able to keep it. Gets to the slot, dished it off. Falk and Benn side of the net. Taken out of the play as it went off his stick was Kunitz. Letang with a pass across. Falk and a drive. Save made by Brizgalov, who came out to challenge, and the net is dislodged.
Now a puck intercepted by Max Talbot, who had a short-handed goal along with Giroux. With a backhand shot, Fleury, same rebound, loose it, but Talbot scores! And now, Niskanen into a Giroux. Talbot and Paul Martin.
Niskanen fought Sidney Crosby earlier in his career when Niskanen was with the Dallas Stars. Crosby, of course, with the Penguins, so they're in a scrum on one side.
And Matt Cook is fighting Matt Carl on the other. After Max Talbot scores another short-handed goal for the Philadelphia Flyers.
It's going to be a difficult call for the officials. Will they rule the Cook-Carl altercation a second bout? Giroux is headed back to the Flyers bench. Niskanen is in the penalty box. Certainly Carl and Cook will go. And this is an awful miscue at the beginning of the play by Marc-Andre Fleury. Max Talbot scores yet another shorty, as you point out, Gord. And for Talbot, it's his 16th career playoff goal.
We saw Scott Hartnell earlier this year fight right after scoring a goal.
Giroux gets the puck outside of Martin, saved by Fleury. And it almost appears as he takes his eye off it for a moment. I mean, he's got to be able to cover the puck here. The Penguins have had a great start, and Fleury funnels this one into his own net. So the third shorthanded goal against in 2 games for the Penguins nullifies their lead. You see Niskanen and Giroux get pulled out of the pack. Carl and Cook are in lock together.
Power play for a minute and a half. As the extra penalty, Niskanen puts in, and Couturier comes up on Letang. And a cross-checking call coming to Chris Letang. And that will put Philadelphia on a 5-on-3 for a minute and 20 seconds.
So difficult to hold your composure. The Penguins are going to have to compose themselves now. They've given up a poor goal against, now a 2-man disadvantage, as Letang here is going to take the cross-checking penalty as he gets the stick up on Sean Couturier.
Many times. Work back in now for Briere. Briere sets up Yager, dubbed the shot, came across, and the shot was saved by Marc-Andre Fleury off their run-into by Cook. Gets up, seems to be okay, led across to Briere, the drive, and that one blocked away by Adams.
Timonen in across the top. He's across the Yager to Timonen. Yager shoots, Fleury save, rebound, loses it, but Briere scores!
by Scott Hartnell. That's 45 for Daniel Briere as he stands on the back door. Wayne Simmons won't get a point on this play. Watch how he occupies Brooks Orpik in front of the net here. Orpik steps out to play him. Orpik doesn't have to worry about Simmons there. That is the forward stalls guy. Watch where the puck comes. Orpik steps out, and as he steps out, Hartnell feathers it right through the feet of Orpik. That's a beautiful pass, and Daniel Briere's not going to miss from there. 5-on-3 goal. With the 5-on-3, they want to make sure that they're locked in.
And there's Giroux with a chance. He taps wide. Hartnell shoots through the save. The rebound cleaned up by Martin. And Marc-Andre Fleury looking very shaky in the Pittsburgh cage. Now Cook sends it back in front. Bouncing puck was down. The net is off the Fleury. And the puck went in, but the goal will be waved off. As Scott Hartnell collided hard with the side of the Philadelphia goal, and Hartnell appears to be shaken up.
The Flyers get another chance off the face-off, and it's a rather unsteady stop for Marc-Andre Fleury. He stops it once, the second with a blocker, and then the Penguins jump out. Matt Cook doesn't notice that Jordan Staal's coming in late. He wants to go across to Christopher Letang, and there you see Hartnell crashing into the net. Brizgalov helping out, applauding Hartnell's effort.
A 3-on-2 as Shen has Briere breaking, gives it across to Simmons. Briere, he scores!
Well, Briere strikes again. There's two keys to this. When the puck is shot from the Penguins' blue line, it gets blocked, and nobody knows where it is. McCulloch shot it, hits in front. Look at the forward for the the Penguins. They can't find it. Then watch this pass from Braden Shen. He doesn't have much room, yet he strings it past McCulloch across to Simmons. And then Simmons finds Briere. Look at Briere up on his horse. He smells this. There's going to be a chance to be had. Find the open spot, find the seam, no mistake. Briere's got two, the Penguins are down 3-1, and Dan Bilesma's heated on his time out here, talking about the unbelievable amount of man advantage breaks that the Penguins have given the Flyers. You give a team that is as skilled as Philadelphia chances, and the Flyers, who are the second highest scoring team in the league behind Pittsburgh, they're not going to miss. The Penguins have to rally, but the Flyers look like they've kicked it into another gear after the Talbot gimme shorthanded goal.
Danny Briere's got 4 goals in the first 3 games of this series. A dream start to the series, and this game for the Philadelphia Flyers. Now Crosby doubles out off the side of the goal, collides with Giroux. Brizgalov reaches down. Crosby takes 2 whacks ahead. Giroux gets into Crosby. And now Voracek, along with Reed, have Steve Sullivan tied up.
Crosby was poking away at the loose puck, and the Flyers took exception. And now Voracek's probably in danger of taking a minor here. He's probably pushed this far enough with Sullivan. Voracek has a glove off, but they're going to wipe this away. It looks like no penalties to anyone. As these scrums increase, as Giroux gives Crosby an earful, the referees find most often you can put a lid on it by giving one guy a penalty. They give none, and there's no deterrent. And Crosby and Giroux are having a pretty good verbal battle here. It's gone on for the last 30 seconds.
Both of them battled concussions this year. Of course, Crosby's with 107 games the last 2 years.
And now here goes Crosby again, with this time with Timonen.
Crosby's grabbed Timonen now.
And this, Crosby and Giroux may end up going here. Crosby starts this by pushing away the glove of Voracek. Voracek goes to pick it up. Now
they're throwing. They're throwing, and Crosby and Giroux tangle now.
And here goes Letang and Timonen, and this is going to be it for these guys. Both teams are going to lose a key defenseman here.
Oh, look out, Letang unloading on Timonen, whose sweater is up over his head. And referee Francois Saint-Laurent trying to get in there. Meantime, we may get our third bout as Matt Reed in behind the goal is tied up. And they're loving this in Philadelphia. So Timonen will go to the Flyer dressing room.
So let's go back and recap this wildness here as Crosby and Giroux continue to exchange words in the penalty boxes. Crosby's stick gets knocked away by Timonen. This is moments after Crosby has knocked the glove away from Jacob Voracek. Voracek was going to pick up his glove. Giroux and Crosby square off, as do Letang and Timonen. And Voracek is heated in the Flyers box.
Well, so much for the Greenpeace series.
Into Paul Martin, who gave it across to Malkin. Hurried it to opposite side for a shot that went wide. Tumbling down in the goal crease and shaken up on the play is Neal. And another shot while all that was going on was stopped by Brizgalov.
With it. Back he goes to Orpik, pass over his foot, Voracek in, almost had a chance. Look out, Braden Shen, huge hit on Martin, and now Asham comes in on Shen, and Aaron Asham is pummeling Braden Shen.
It's a brutal play by Asham.
And Braden Shen, who had concussion issues this year as well, remains down on the ice.
I know you have to protect your teammates, but that's a brutal play by Asham, undisciplined and selfish, and the Penguins are going to pay a price here. Hopefully Braden Shen is okay.
Shen just now gets to his feet unsteadily.
I mean, this is a great hit as Martin gets buried on the sideboards, and he gets up. He's fine.
But then Asham comes in, and that is the result. Niskanen finds Neal. He's got Malkin with him. And now Neal comes jumping in. James Neal scores! What a goal by James Neal! And the Pittsburgh Penguins are climbing back.
Said there was going to be a lot of stuff that's going to go on in the last 48 minutes. What a brilliant goal by James Neal. Neal, who had been relatively quiet in the first two games. He had 11 shots, but really only one good scoring chance. He gets to the middle of the ice, and he's stuck. There's nowhere to go. So he chips it between Lilia and Carl, dances around the two of them. Watch this play. He flips it up in the air so they can't play it with their stick, and Carl thinks he's going to follow the puck. He doesn't. He steps outside of Carl right here. That's a great move, and that quick release from James Neal closes the gap to 3-2.
James Neal gets his second career playoff goal. Briere with two in the game so far. Finds Kubina with a shot. Fleury save. Loose puck in front. Briere on it. Couldn't find it in his feet. And England now loses the puck to Reed. In front, shoot, score! First career playoff goal.
I think the Penguins have to explore the possibility of replacing Marc-Andre Fleury. This goes right through him again after a long wrist shot that he punts out a rebound that he can't control. This has been a miserable start to the series for Marc-Andre Fleury. Kubina just throws a wrister. This hits him right in the penguin. It hits him in the chest. England's going to lose the puck off the Briere play, and Reed whips it around right through the wickets of Marc-Andre Fleury. Fleury gets up. He's climbing to get himself back to his feet, and Reed goes underneath him for his first playoff goal. But
on the penalty kill to Pittsburgh. Lobbed ahead, and here comes Hartnell. Shooting one. Save made by Fleury.
Slides that up for Briere. Simmons shoots through the save, and this time there's no rebound.
Here's Briere.
Well, there was no rebound on that last opportunity. Marc-Andre Fleury was solid, but if you look at his body of work from this afternoon, It's just juicy rebound after juicy rebound and fluff save opportunities. It's a big problem for Marc-Andre Fleury and the Pittsburgh Penguin defense. And now without Christopher Letang, if they keep giving up juicy rebounds and they're only playing with 5 defensemen, it's going to be a very long afternoon.
Voracek played it across. Hartnell with it there. Finessed it on through. Chipped along by Orpik and stashed on goal by Giroux in the save. Malkin lugs it on ahead. Able to control back in. Malkin waiting, setting it up. Lets it go, and that one deflected off and wide of the cage at the horn. Make sure that now it's Crosby talking with Brizgalov. One has very good English, and the other has pretty good English, so I think they understand one another. Peeled away, very deliberate. Dealt one around behind. Nearing the halfway point of this power play. Oh, and a shot trigger pulled off the post by Hartnell. Of game one in overtime, Jake Voracek wheels around, sets up Kubina, and a save made by Fleury.
To go in the power play. Here comes Crosby. Drops it down to Neal. Hard shot. Brizgalov turns it away. Malkin back with it. Centers it. Neal shoots, scores! James Neal, power play goal! And Pittsburgh's back within 1.
The Penguins are never, or rather the Flyers are never really able to get a handle on the puck to clear it down the zone and reset. They do go out of the zone just for a brief moment. Sullivan dances his way back into the zone, and then the Penguins never leave it again. The NHL's power play goal leader with his second of the night, or afternoon, is James Neal. He walks into the slot. Nobody can account for him as the Penguins already have a player there. That's through Brizgalov's legs before he's able to really get set. Watch Malkin. He's going to dance down the boards. And there's already a Penguin set. It's Crosby. But Neal comes in front of Crosby. And while people are looking for the pass to go to Crosby, it goes to Neal.
Who feathered it across. Carl gave it back over for Voracek. Voracek takes a look. Fed one in front. Directed right on goal by Hartnell and held by Fleury.
Got it now, Reed. 20 seconds to go in the power play. Yager walks his way in. Sends it back.
The Penguins are a threat from killing this off. They've got the puck under control, and Paul Martin doesn't clear the zone. Matt Reed, who's playing the point, is going to keep the puck in the zone there. Martin has to get that out, and when he doesn't, it always seems to come back and bite you. The Flyers settle the play down, and you can see this developing. Watch Reed pass to Yager, and then he departs through the seam. The Penguins move up high to cover Briere in the slot. Nobody can get to Matt Reed, and the 25-year-old rookie with 24 goals in the regular season has his first 2 playoff goals.
And he finds Matt Reed. Now Kunitz comes back with Neal and Stahl. Chris Kunitz drops Neal and shoots. Brizgalov a save. A one score! Jordan Stahl! And once again, the Penguins are back within 1.
Should we expect anything else from this series? More wildness, and it results in a Penguins goal. Matt Reed's going to get the puck, and he's got great speed. He wants to zip into the Penguins zone, but the Penguins defense stands up at the blue line. That's Paul Martin, and that is a great play by Paul Martin. Getting back, pokes the puck free to Kunitz. Neal's shot is bobbled by Brizgalov. He doesn't know where it is, and Jordan Stahl's got his second of the afternoon.
44 shots in the game. 9 have gone in, and there's 4:20 to go in the second period.
We had a goaltender once who had an afternoon much like this, and we said to him, you know, it's not dodgeball in there. You can get in front of one of those.
Defenseman, or he's trying to help out down low for Malkin to create some space. He's going after Coburn to create room. He slashes it right in the leg. I mean, in the old days, they probably let that go, but they're not going to let that go. They're going to watch that because this game has gotten out of control. When the game gets out of control, you got to know that as a player. The referees are going to be watching it all the time.
Out for the lead back to Coburn, gave it across to Giroux. Giroux with a shot, and that one tipped away to the corner.
As Adams gave Coburn a whack. Lead pass to Simmons. Simmons. Score!
the 28-goal scorer Simmons. Second power play in a row. The Penguins are almost out of it. This time it's a quick up. Martin gets caught. He was heading to the bench on a change, but the puck doesn't go deep enough. He can't catch Simmons. Nice headman feed by Coburn, and this pass sends Simmons alone, and he gets it around the outstretched leg of Marc-Andre Fleury. And the uphill climb continues for Pittsburgh as those Flyers continually push back. Now 6 on the board again.
Every time Pittsburgh pulls close, the Flyers pull away again. And now Neal is thrown down by Coburn. A chance there for Crosby, fired high and wide. Malkin puts it wide and now sticks her up at the end of the second period. "6-4, the Flyers lead after 2.
It is Brent Johnson. Appeared in 34 minutes 2 years ago. No, last year, I beg your pardon, in the playoffs, and 31 minutes the year before that. So 65 total minutes in 2 relief appearances. And Marc-Andre Fleury worked 2 periods and gave up half a dozen.
Shots in the series. Johnson got the win for Pittsburgh on the final day of the regular season against the Flyers. As Jogger shutting it up at the shot on Brent Johnson's in.
The Penguins could have had both Fleury and Johnson in the net for this one. This is an absolute rocket from Claude Giroux. And he's the recipient of the pass from Jagr, his 3rd assist of the day. Look at him hold off Pascal Dupuis. Dupuy's got his arms wrapped around the left arm of Jagr here. Jagr's only got one hand on his stick, so he puts it on the tee, and Giroux blasts this over the shoulder of Brent Johnson. Welcome to a wild series, Brent Johnson.
To the outside now, it's Ronaldo. Shooting in that high off Johnson, but he's able to cover.
Doc, again, you talked about the patience and the poise and the smarts and what's going to happen. Will we see a bust up of all kinds of energy? The answer is no. Pittsburgh Penguins now are just in retreat mode. They're having a tough time getting anything going. Their lines are disjointed. The defense pairings are disjointed. And right now, they're just saying, how can we keep this series going?
Lowood bobbled that puck. Talbot has it. And at the line, kept alive by Kunitz. James Neal got it hard with Couturier. Couturier's down outside the Philadelphia blue line.
And you're going to see Neal, 18, come into the picture here as it turns around and Neal's going back in. He runs right into him here. I don't think he's complete. You know, he's not unsure he's there. I don't know if he means to run right over top of him, but he lays a solid wallop on the youngster as Couturier lies on the ice.
Talbot tips around England. This could get nasty here. Giroux works it back. Neal takes a run at him. And Giroux is down.
And these officials got to get on this here because it's, as you mentioned, Gord, it's going to get nasty, and here it goes.
Voracek's into the Pittsburgh bench going after Malkin. Talbot seems to be trying to drag him out.
Okay, this is getting pretty crowded here, I got to tell you that. England's got a headlock on Kubina, and the officials are pulling Zach Ronaldo back into the bench.
And Voracek is into it with Kunitz. And now things are really boiling over. Crosby and Schneider into it.
Craig Berube is screaming at the officials to get them apart.
And now Berube is pointing over the Pittsburgh bench and talking to Neal. Craig Berube, who was a tough customer in his day. .442 to go in the third period.
Craig Berube was so hot. I muted my mic so it doesn't end up over the air, but he was extremely angry with James Neal. So Neal gets the hit on Giroux. Giroux stumbles for a moment. And then the puck just nicks him as it goes into the zone, and then this is when all chaos breaks loose here. As Malkin and Talbot and Voracek, they're trying to get at James Neal. And this is where it starts to heat. You see the Flyers reaching in to grab Zach Rinaldo and get him back off the pack.
You can't beat us, they're chanting.
Hartnell engaged in a pretty lengthy conversation with most of the Penguins. In particular now is Sidney Crosby. Now both Hartnell and Crosby on the ice. Remember, just moments ago they had engaged in a pretty heated, lengthy conversation.
And it's continuing now, as you mentioned.
And they weren't talking to each other with how you doing, as now Simmons and Neal are nose to nose.
And now Crosby is tanning with Hartnell.
Oh, this is going to get out of hand here.
Craig Adams is jumping in. Coburn comes in. Look out. Here we go. And Craig Adams throwing punches at Scott Hartnell from behind. And now they're going to go.
Hartnell was yelling that he was pulling his hair. I don't know how you don't. Man, there's parts of helmets all over the ice.
And Hartnell whoops it up as he makes his way to the Flyer dressing room.
There becomes the mentality in a game like this, and the only thing I can really equate it to is the playoff series we had with Hartford and Boston, where, man, that was nasty stuff. And not only did they want to beat us, they wanted to pound us into submission. And as the games continued and the series got tighter, it got worse and worse on both sides of the equation. This has been a one-sided hand your lunch to Pittsburgh through 3 games of this series. And you can see the frustration is just spilled over, and the Penguins have come unglued here in Game 3.
Goes to Coburn. Now Voracek with it. Cross ice pass, ball knocked it down. That's Talbot.
Five of the 8 Flyer goals have come of the special team variety. This time running out the string of the power play, Max Talbot gets to the net front and he surprises Brent Johnson as the puck chips to the front of the net. He spins in his backhand. Talbot's 2 goals, the combined speed has to be about 3 miles an hour. A shorty in the first that Fleury bumped into the net. This power play marker. And the player who's really built a reputation as a playoff performer with his 17th career playoff goal.
So if no scoring, the rest of this is power play time, and Crosby skipped one that went off for his Goloff and wide. Perfect setup for Malkin, but it would not go. It is that kind of day.
And the Philadelphia Flyers have a stranglehold in the series. 3 games to none after a decisive 8-4 win over the Pittsburgh Penguins.
I don't like any guy on their team there, so his glove was near me, went to pick it up, and I pushed it. So yeah, that's.
Because what?
I don't like him.
Why don't you like him?
Because I don't like him. I don't like any guy on their team.
From Philadelphia, it's the Stanley Cup playoffs presented by Geico. They come wearing orange and they are urged on locally to be loud and raucous. They hope they can be celebrating into the night, but we all will wait because it's desperate Pittsburgh against surprising Philadelphia. 16 teams in these playoffs. 21 goalies have seen action so far. The bottom two save percentages, surprisingly, are these. Cannot imagine what the last 72 hours have been like for Marc-Andre Fleury, pulled from Game 3. He won a championship in 09 and is trying to reach back for some of yesterday's fire. Ilya Bryzgalov has had some problems. Those vanish when you win 3 straight. Won a championship with Anaheim in 07, wanting to start a brief vacation for his team with a sweep. It is Crosby against Giroux to get Game 4 started off. And it's marched on for a shot by Hartnell that's above the sweeping glove hand of Fleury and all the way out to center. Matt Carl plays it on. Hooked back was Giroux, unable to finesse free as Jágr, but a penalty to Pittsburgh early.
Doc, Stevie Sullivan takes a penalty, high sticking. Wes McCauley catches him.
Made by Fleury, and it's rattled back around off of Giroux and out to center. To stop it, rolled off his stick. Simmons with a shoulder there on Engelland, and Engelland able to pop it back along. It's brushed on back by Richard Park. Chop right out in front. Jágr fed it side of the net. Score! Giroux!
Lost battles. This has really been prototypical of the series. Simmons hard on the puck on Engelland. Jágr with some strength. Another battle won by Simmons. Jágr gives it to Giroux, and he goes right through Marc-Andre Fleury. Again, this goal has some odor on it. That's a very stoppable puck. But for Marc-Andre Fleury, this entire series has been a battle. Some great skill by Giroux from the left skate blade up to the blade. That puck goes right through. But that goal, Doc, really shows you what this series has been about.
This is Malkin, and he comes out, and it's passed to him in a 2-on-2. Malkin steps ahead with it now. Dropped it on for a shot by Dupuis. Save, rebound, score! Malkin! Just after the penalty has expired and the game is even.
The Flyer bench was screaming at Matt Reed to get off the ice. He's a forward playing defense. We already saw him get attacked by Jordan Staal. Now watch what they do again. There's Reed, a forward, 24, playing defense. Malkin's out of the box. The Flyer bench has been saying, get off, get off. He doesn't, and then he doesn't stay with Malkin. Malkin outmuscles him at the point of attack, and he scores. That's Reed overstaying his shift, and eventually ends up at the back of the net. And that's some pretty questionable goaltending by Ilya Bryzgalov as well. And the Flyer coaches are now talking to Reed on the bench. Coming off.
Laid it on. Dupuis with it. Fires! And a save made by Bryzgalov. Again, he had trouble holding, but he did cover. Crosby to the back. Sullivan across. And it's held there and given back to him by Letang. Lifted back down to Letang, moves in, shoots one, deflected in front. Oh, and a couple whacks at it that came at the front of the cage. But escaping is Malkin. Drifts and feeds one across. Sullivan, a shot saved. He's got a rebound lay there. And Niskanen jams it behind. Malkin up with it there. Fed to Crosby. Pointed it back to Sullivan. Sullivan fakes. Crosby has it. Gives it across. A shot. Score! What a trigger pull there by Matt Niskanen. And the tie is broken.
Giving Philadelphia a little dose of their own medicine, making them pay on a power play, and it's good puck movement, good body movement by the Pittsburgh Penguins. Sullivan, a forward, playing on the back end, doesn't score there. Niskanen makes a good read, keeps it alive. Then Malkin to Crosby, move the puck around. Sullivan fakes the shot, it gets everybody to freeze for a second, goes to Crosby, then a cross-box feed to Niskanen, a one-timer. Nice feed by Crosby, and Brizgalov is a touch slow coming across. He can't match the pace of the puck. 2-1 Pittsburgh.
Tonight they have that four that Pierre mentioned. Oh, what a big crunch there on Dupré, and then a shot is stopped by Fleury. Control. Loose puck twisted over by Sullivan. Malkin with it. Letang a shot, and it's held by Brizgalov. Stoppage of play on an offside, and an interference is also called by the referee in deep. And then a 40-second power play for the Flyers. No, take that back. Penalty coming up to Pittsburgh. Orpik is going to try and take somebody with him. Briere, he will not. So this will be an odd one. This will be 4 against 3. Cardinal tried to lead it across. It came back off Matt Cook. Cook in the duel there, and we get another penalty call coming up. The call is a high stick. Now we are back-loading minors for Pittsburgh. To Timonen again. Timonen to the side to Yager. Watching is McCulloch. Yager, a shot shrugged off now by Fleury. Bouncer came back out to Timonen. Lugged back on. Dealt to Yager again. Sprawling is McCulloch. Fed one across the net mouth, and that one wouldn't go. Taken on by Giroux. Dealt back in deep. Thrown, and that one bounced back off McCulloch, who's been wonderful in front of the cage. Giroux across. Drive by Timonen. Score!
What an effort by the Penguins, especially for Zavinik McCulloch, but there's just too much firepower, there's too much skill, and too heavy a shot by Kimmo Timonen right through Marc-Andre Fleury again. That puck doesn't change directions until it hits Fleury's pads and goes to the back of the net. Doc, this has been a series of horrors for Marc-Andre Fleury, and you have to wonder at what time Danny Biles was going to say, enough, we're just not getting it done with you in goal.
First period, drop back off for a little punch along by Letang, and then attack back, and fanning on it was Park. Taken along now by Giroux. Watched by Letang, he drops it over now to Simmons. Led to the back to Timonen. Circling with this is Giroux. Tapped in the front. They lead it over.
Was a hero in overtime in game 1, and then this vaunted Philadelphia power play goes to work again, keeping the play alive. Excellent precision making. Marc-Andre Fleury slow going from his right to his left, and Jake Voracek has this huge avenue to skate down and shoot it past Fleury and the Penguins defenseman. It all starts in the neutral zone. Watch Claude Giroux. He's going to bat the puck out of the air. He's going to keep it alive. It's going to bounce over Richard Park's stick. That's how Philadelphia established zone time, presence, and eventually scored. What a play by Giroux.
Back in, Grossman there. Malkin goes to work on him, coming by Crosby. Could not drag it free, but it's the point. Niskanen a shot. Ricocheted in! It is a 3-3 tie.
They're going to go look at this one. Wes McCauley hasn't made a signal. He's going to look at this one. Is this a high stick? Nonetheless, it's the pushback you need if you're Pittsburgh. Niskanen, Crosby, Malkin. This is a matchup we were talking about before. Let's see how this puck touches Crosby's stick. Is that over the crossbar, Doc? Hard to get a reference point here. It's Niskanen with the shot. It touches Crosby's stick and then in under the bar. Let's just watch Crosby's stick. That's the key. I don't even know if it touches Crosby. It might have touched Couturier.
I think you're right, Pierre. Maybe this will help us know.
No. But I still think that'll be a good goal. Even if it does touch Crosby's stick, look where it is. That's far below the crossbar.
And right back up now comes Malkin. Racing up the wing is Letang. Malkin tries to fidget through, taken out of the play. And then a chance off of Brizgalov by Kennedy is held by the goaltender. And Niskanen. Laid in, and Niskanen goes right in after it. Pavel Kabina there, but it's peeled off by Stahl, led on to Cook. Cook a shot, and that went off Brizgalov. Rebound around, and scoring is Stahl. 4-3 Penguins.
Doc, what's amazing about this play, the initial shot by Matt Cook almost goes in. Brizgalov is slow to react to it. Good forecheck pressure by Jordan Stahl against Pavel Kabina. You'll see Cook right there just misses. Tangradi keeps it alive right out to Jordan Stahl. And everybody in orange is looking at the puck and not picking up their areas. Look at their eyes glued to the puck. And Jordan Stahl left unmolested in front. He cashes into an empty net. And now the Penguins have a one-goal lead.
Popped on to center where overskated by Kunitz, dragged on by Malkin. A second to go, and a shot by Crosby is waffle-boarded away by Brizgalov. And the horn sounds to end 20 highly predictable minutes in this first period. 26 shots and 7 goals, and Pittsburgh leading game 4 at the end of 1, 4-3. Has this, shovels one, spun, but wiping out was Crosby. Loose puck in front, ricocheted off Brizgalov, and is pushed just wide. It was underneath him and loose. He's without it now. Hartnell looking over his shoulder for Yager, who just barely reached one, but is able to control confidently behind. Wraparound is off flurry and skittered across the net mouth by Tangradi, and he goes back after it, and we get a stoppage of play and something from center.
McCauley, I think it's Giroux. He's calling for a high stick, I believe.
Giroux is headed toward the penalty box.
High sticking. Doc, we talked about in the first period, these officials are going to keep a tight rein on this thing. High sticks, hit from behind, cross checks, anything of the kind of a violent nature is going to be called. Not that there, that's a high stick.
Wilson back over, Crosby takes over there. Front of the net, it's Kunitz. Crosby fakes the shot, shoveled it across, Letang a shot, he scores! Letang! 5-3, the Penguins with their second power play goal.
This is excellent puck movement. The Pittsburgh Penguin power play is finally starting to wake up. They came close on the initial one to start the second period, but this is just great distribution by Crosby and nice spacing. Look at how wide the Penguins are. Space, space, space. Then you can create that cross-box feed to Letang. Nice pass by Crosby, and look at Letang. He's got time, he's got space. And Brizgalov, could he move any slower, Doc, across the crease? Again, we talked about this is a battle of goaltenders. Ineptness, both goalies are struggling. And I think Bobrovsky's coming in. You can't hide that. The video doesn't lie. He's not reacting to pucks. He's fighting it. Peter Laviolette sees it.
And here's Letang striding right back ahead with it, and a backhander. And that one is deflected along off Bobrovsky. Oh, and then Letang is down heavily behind, and there'll be a penalty coming up there. And along to Letang again. Drop back in deep. Crosby fed. Sullivan a shot. Popped off Bobrovsky and went wide. Along and back in for Kennedy. Kennedy holding in a shot by Stahl. He scores! Stahl! And it's 6-3.
Matt Carl's got to be better than this with the puck. Watch him. Doesn't get the puck out. They keep it alive. And then it's just a nice feed. Tyler Kennedy right out front to Jordan Stahl, and he wastes no time at all with traffic in front from Matt Cook. Letang keeps it alive. And you're going to see Cook go to the net. He takes it, Matt Reed with him. That creates a seam, and Jordan Stahl doesn't even stop the puck. He hammers it home. He had 2 goals in game number 3, and now he's got a goal here tonight, and a timeout being called by Peter Laviolette.
Moves in, Crosby, the trailer takes the pass. Given across the Malkin. Shot is covered by Bobrovsky. Unable to hold. Dealt it back across. 22 on the power play. Kennedy moves, shoots. Pad stop made by Bobrovsky. Right. The leadership in the series is 3 for them. Rattled on around. The referee is holding on to a hockey stick as we get a call at center. What did you notice?
Matt Reed went for the head of Simon Dupre. Another penalty for the Flyers.
Thanks, Sam.
Thank you.
Racing ahead, Sullivan, and a shot. He scores! Sullivan! And it is 7-3.
Well, that penalty ends up at the back of your net. Matt Reed got selfish in the neutral zone on Simon Dupre. He gets called, and now everybody's backing off on Philadelphia. Nobody attacks Sullivan. Guides time, space, gains the line, and just blasts it up and over Bobrovsky. That's a big-time shot. Where's the resistance? That's not their penalty-killing scheme. That's not what you're used to seeing. But everybody backs off. They're all on a different page, and Sullivan just hammers it by Bobrovsky. 7-3.
Held there, forced across, and right around in front. Wellwood shot it wide while spinning. Brought back on by Jaromir Jagr. Jagr holding. Let it across. Drive and a save made by Fleury on the shot from Giroux. And it moves in, shoved off by Malkin. Puck taken by Kunitz in front. Score! What a feed in front for Dupuis. And now it is the Penguins who have scored 8 goals.
One team surging confidence-wise, and the other one is starting to fall back. And you could sense it right after the Penguins fell behind, they started to push back. Again, another example of pushback. Malkin initially on the forecheck, forces a turnover. Kunitz capitalize on it, spinning feed out front, and Pascal Dupuis up and over the blocker of Bobrovsky. And Doc, what's interesting, whenever the Penguins shoot on Bobrovsky, they're going high. They're either going by the ears, they're going by the shoulder, or they're hitting the back of the net. But they're going high.
Boards, Matt Cook stood up there, 2-on-1. Stahl looking for the hat trick. Has 10 Grady and shoots. He scores! There will probably be no hats here. But Stahl has connected to make this even more lopsided.
Matt Cook takes a hit from Andreas Lilia to make the play. Doc, it's where they're shooting on Bobrovsky. Gilles Meloche, the goalie coach for the Pittsburgh Penguins, must have had a great scouting report, along with Derek Clancy, the other pro scout for the Penguins. Everything is high on Bobrovsky. Watch Stahl come in, boom. I mean, they're just sifting goals in the upper part of the net.
He has a third of the team by Matt Reed. Ronaldo stood up there by McCulloch. Ronaldo goes back after him. McCulloch tried to trickle it through. Ronaldo on top with a couple of lacrosse checks and a little bit more. And this will cost maybe even more.
And this is where the Penguins just have to stay out of it. Zach Ronaldo's trying to do something. That something is to try to stimulate the crowd in his team. And now, look at this. They're not messing around. This is not like the last game. Ronaldo's done. They're just taking him right off.
Officials have made here in case. Here's Malkin a shot. Out of the glove of Bobrovsky. It's steered wide by Kunitz. Third when they gave up 8. But how quickly the winds can change. 40 minutes have been played here. A dozen goals scored, 3/4 of them by Pittsburgh. It was between Chicago and Edmonton. The goaltenders, unfortunate though they may have been, were Grant Fuhrer, Hall of Famer, and Murray Bannerman, relieved by Warren Skorodensky in one game, and Fuhrer relieved by Andy Moog in another. Wayne Gretzky had a ton of points. He had 4 of the 44 goals. Kennedy twisted it ahead. That one read and walked right on for a feed in front to Jagr, but he could not poke it home. And then Stahl is the youngest of the cluster of players that they have, 23. Kunitz shot, save, rebound, score by Malkin, and that makes double digits. It is 10-3. And Malkin comes to the bench to get congratulations.
There are a lot of seats masquerading as fans right now. Everybody's heading to the exits. 2-on-1, good foot race. Kunitz coming in. He's just going to drive it on Bobrovsky. Kabina goes down, big rebound, and Evgeny Malkin's not going to miss with that kind of net looking at him. 50 goals during the regular season. The Art Ross Trophy 15 of this game for Pittsburgh.
Dropped off for a feed in front to Coburn. Oh, and a grab made by Fleury on Braden Coburn at the front of the net.
Penguins players responding to that save. A lot of guys standing up and saying, way to go, Marc-Andre. It hasn't been a whole lot of positive, but in this situation, quick shot on goal. Marc-Andre Fleury's not robbing Braden Coburn with the glove.
Close to Independence Hall in this historic city. To a side on the battle here. Little extra from Cook. Little extra shove and maybe a stick hold by Cook. He went down. Kubina stands over him. A little extra and that'll cost.
So watch this now. There you go. He's going to get the same thing Ronaldo got. You got to think.
Pierre made the point earlier that this was what was learned from the last game, that you don't let guys staying around cause more trouble. So there will be something to come from this. This is Shen having a chance to chat with Cook. We mentioned earlier just the raw number of points that have been put up on the board by Penguins tonight. Evgeny Malkin 2-1, Jordan Staal 3 goals, and Steve Sullivan a goal and 2, Sidney Crosby a goal and 2. Those are the 3-pointers. Chris Letang had on Sunday. It was the last word to the Flyer fans, and it is tonight too. Not as happy. Final score 10-3. Jordan Staal had 3 of the 10. Sidney Crosby a 3-point night. And so the Penguins will play another day.
Welcome to the Stanley Cup playoffs presented by Geico. From Consol Energy Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's Game 5, the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Philadelphia Flyers. For the Flyers, Ilya Bryzgalov has allowed 17 goals in 4 games, record of 3-1. He was pulled from Game 4. Marc-Andre Fleury has allowed 20 goals over the first 4 games for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Sidney Crosby hopes the Penguins season does not end tonight. Evgeny Malkin, his first 2 goals of the series in Game 4.
Hadn't taken long. Scotty Hartnell, James Neal. Hartnell's just walking him back to the party. Neal missed Game 4. Hartnell said, welcome back to the party.
Malkin, Neal, and Kunitz for the Penguins. Giroux, Hartnell, and Yager for the Flyers. Zone. Letang on it for the Penguins. Bumped by Talbot. The ex-Penguin pass out in front. And a goal post just 33 seconds in.
This injury to Nick Rosen is a pretty significant thing. Flyers got to get going here.
Danny Briere to the net. Left hand saved by Fleury. Returned from their 1-game suspensions. Replacing Richard Park and Joe Vitale as Crosby is turned aside by Bryzgalov.
See, Kenny, that's what I mean
by Matt Carr. Letang from Malkin. Save Bryzgalov. Neal, a turnaround shot is blocked. Fires to clear the zone. Briere will chip it in around Derek Engelland. And now another penalty.
Engelland's going to get it. Roughing. Going to get it for roughing. If it's a bigger man, probably not a penalty, but it's Engelland who's a big guy. And he goes a little bit extra on Briere in the neutral zone right in front of the Penguins bench.
So Derek Engelland to the box. The Flyers have scored 9 power play goals So far in this series, Pierre, they are 9 for 15.
And Briere knows the hit's coming, but then watch the arm right at the end. That little rip play where he rips his head down, that's why they called roughing. It's okay till right there where he takes a little.
Up the left side for Matt Reed, who led all rookies in scoring during the regular season. And the Flyers take a 1-0 lead on the wrist shot from the right circle off the stick of Matt Carl.
Matt Carl was -3 in Game 4. He didn't have a great night, but so far he's been solid. And he's one of the guys that's going to have to pick it up without Nick Grossman in the lineup. Watch Fleury. I think he gets off the angle, Kenny, just a little bit. See how he's overplaying? He's overplaying just a little bit because he's trying to track through the traffic. And they think there's goalie interference on Fleury. Watch him just sneak over there. He's a little off the angle because of that little movement. Dupuis in the way, but there's no way that's goalie interference. Pierre doesn't touch him until the puck goes past. But Fleury put himself off the angle. Good shot by Carl.
Control. Couturier all over Evgeny Malkin. Voracek without a stick. Good opportunity for Kennedy.
Penalty.
Interference.
Yeah, Colburn's going to get it for interfering on Sullivan. Colburn came up and closed the gap and just ran him right into in front of me. So the Penguins going for their second power play, and Colburn a key component for their team on the penalty kill in particular.
There have been 17 power play goals scored in this series, Pierre. In the other 7 series combined up along the boards. Reed has the puck for Couturier. A 2-on-1 for the Flyers. Now a 3-on-2. Couturier stopped, and then a big save by Fleury on the rebound. Malkin fanned on the shot.
25!
Now out to the tag. Far side, the shot. Score! Power play goal, Steve Sullivan.
Solid composure by Christopher Letang at the top for the Pittsburgh Penguins. He's handled some tough pucks. Malkin fans on it, but keeps it alive. Then James Neal, really good skill. That fake shot forces Brizgalov to stand pat. And because he does, look how slow Brizgalov is to react to that puck in a one-timer. Right there by Sullivan. He has to fight on what Letang is doing at the top of the box, and now he fakes the shot. Because he does, the one-timer's available for Stevie Sullivan.
Val Ilya. Glove save by Fleury. We'll see that replay when we come back. Oh, Malkin knocked down one of the Flyers behind the net. It's Shen. And a penalty will be assessed. Goals from Carl and Sullivan. This is Timonen setting up Giroux, who hits the post. One game. Hartnell over skates. Now Giroux moves to the net and then shoots high.
Claude Giroux whips this one-timer. You see Fleury again, slow to get over, not on the angle. And here's the beat at McCulloch. That's just a bad read, a little bad luck off the board, but nonetheless protect the middle part of the ice. And Claude Giroux beats him to the net and just misses high and wide. But if you're a young defenseman, always protect the inside part of the ice. I've never seen a player skate through the boards. If you angle him to the outside, you're going to be fine. Penalty to Pittsburgh.
It's a slash, so the Flyers will have a 2-man advantage for the next 18 seconds.
Install again, Giroux. Try to win it back to Orpik and get it clear. He doesn't. Now they're in scramble mode.
Flyers win the draw. Kimmo Timonen flies it across for Giroux. Down low to Briere. Cross-ice pass, score! Another power play goal, and Scott Hartnell, 2-1 Philadelphia.
Hartnell's first goal of the series. He was a power play scoring machine for the Flyers this regular season. And you look at it, face-off win so they can get all set up. Now scramble mode. And watch the rotation. Hartnell's taking it from Orpik. And as soon as the puck comes to Briere, he knows to slide off. Nice saucer pass up and over Orpik, and then up and over Fleury. That's great 5-on-3 power play development and a nice finish by Hartnell. Fleury got a piece, but not enough of a piece.
Hartnell 37 goals during the regular season. And Carl holds it in at the line. Now Shen fires just wide. And England will clear, and that will do it. Dupuis with 7 seconds. Crosby setting up in front. Malkin tries to get it to him. Brizgalov forced to make one final save, and then it's shot wide by McCulloch as the first period comes to an end. Braden Coburn, pass to the left wing for Giroux. Rough pass and a big save by Fleury with the left pad on Yager. Jordan Staal cutting wide on William, and the puck is kept out. Period 2. All 3 goals scored in the first period, all 3 on the power play. Now an opportunity for Staal. He scores! Jordan.
What a play by Tyler Kennedy in the neutral zone. Christopher Letang, we talked about them wanting to play fast. Another example of playing fast. Hammered up the ice. Good chip play by Kennedy. We've seen Jordan Staal do this before. He did it to Bobrovsky in game number 4. Coming down, looks the goalie off. High glove side. The score is tied. It all started in the neutral zone, and it finished with a great shot by Jordan Staal. Jordan Staal's got that spot down.
The building and our fans to be at their best tonight. Malkin walks in, backhand shot, he missed the net. Niskanen across to Dupre. Shoots wide, hard carry off the inboards. And it's kept out by Brizgalov, and then shot off the side of the net by Kunitz. Shot the flex on goal off Niskanen's stick in the midst of a change. Here's Staal, who tied the game moments ago. Matt Cook with the puck. Out to the right circle. Kennedy has lead. He scores! Tyler Kennedy gives the Penguins their first lead of Game 5.
Penguins were changing, and it was a long sequence for the Flyer forwards. It's a nice job by Matt Cook keeping alive. You see the doors open. Kennedy just came off, so he got lost in coverage. He gets the feed from Cook, blasts the puck, and then gives his best impression of a Lambeau leap into the glass.
Third goal of the set. Jordan Staal had the first. He has the puck. This is Kennedy. He scored the second goal of the period. Saved by Brizgalov. Out to the left point. Giroux cuts to the circle, then shoots. And a glove save by Fleury. Malkin down the left wing. Drop pass. Neal turned aside by Brizgalov. On to Kunitz with Adams. Now joined by Malkin. Beautiful feed from Kunitz to Malkin. He goes barreling into Brizgalov, and the puck stayed out of the net. Tripped up by Crosby as the horn sounds, and the Penguins will take a 1-goal lead into the locker room after 40 minutes. James Neal with the good defensive play. Kunitz for Malkin. Stuff attempt at Brizgalov. Penguins lead by a goal. Neal down the left wing. Wrist shot. Oh, glove save. Big stop by Brizgalov.
Big stop at a big time. And it's a great release by James Neal coming with a head of speed. Niskanen finds him. He blows hard on Braden Coburn. And then Brizgalov snags it out of the air. Now you know why James Neal had 40 goals during the regular season. That's some kind of release.
He was 4th in the league in goal scoring. Has 2 goals in this series, both in Game 3 when he took 10 shots.
Giroux and Yager.
Here's Giroux with the puck. Yager heading for the net. Giroux shoots, it's blocked, and rolls to Fleury. That's the first Flyer shot of the third period. It took over 7 minutes. Game 3, 8-4, and then it was the Penguins 10-3 in Game 4.
Lack of discipline by Tyler Kennedy. Takes a slashing penalty on Hartnell. You see 48 in black. Everything's okay there. Nothing wrong there. Hartnell comes in, gives him a run. And then the stick comes back. They always get the retaliator, don't they?
Timonen for Giroux. Timonen fires, save through a screen by Fleury with Simmons setting up near side. Claude Giroux. Pass across and Fleury with a big save on Voracek.
That's a man that had the game winner in overtime in game one, Jakub Voracek. And this is a really good read by Fleury. No traffic yet. Now there is a little bit, but he tracks the puck and he goes side to side. And Kenny, you know our goalie's moving well when he tracks the puck like this and it hits him square in the crest. That's a nice job by Marc-Andre Fleury. You see how quick he swings his head to that position.
Play. Giroux, left circle, wrist shot, saved by Fleury. And then Schenn gets knocked down by Stahl. The forward line for the Flyers on their fifth power play. Shot by Schenn, saved by Fleury. Jágr was knocked down in front. Flyers working around with 40 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Giroux, back out for Carr. Then Jágr. Another big save by Fleury, and he covers with Briere looking for a rebound. It never came out.
Craig Adams didn't play in game number 4 because of a suspension for instigating a fight. Watch how helpful he is in this situation. Hard on Jaromir Jágr. Jágr's right in his house right there. He loves being there. And then Fleury getting big, fighting through, but he's square. His head might be moving, but his body isn't, like he was on the Matt Carl shot in the first period. Much better for Marc-Andre Fleury. You're right, Kenny. His confidence is starting to surge at the right time.
Giroux, left wing circle, backs it up, then throws in front. Puck is loose, and another big stop by Fleury. What a save on Danny Briere.
All the Penguins players are standing and banging their sticks on the bench. This is superhuman for Marc-Andre Fleury. The left pad does it all. He just stays with it again. He's fast, he's square, unlike earlier in the series where he wasn't square. Here comes a left pad on Danny Briere once, twice, and then no third opportunity because Cook comes in to clean up on Danny Briere. One save, two saves, no more opportunities.
Penguins lead 3-2. Here's Coburn. Long shot, saved by Fleury. Then a centering pass, and another save. Hartnell with the opportunity. Fleury made the stop. Here's Gustafsson cutting wide. And he throws it across for Voracek. Voracek with a backhand shot. Another big save by Fleury with all kinds of traffic going on in front.
Well, Orpik's just mauling Van Riemsdyk. Just mauling him because he has no stick. Orpik has no stick.
Now a glove save by Fleury on the shot from the right point off the stick of Gustafsson.
.44 doesn't have a stick. That's Orpik. Letang going after Van Riemsdyk. Look at Orpik. What can I do? My stick's broken. And then we'll see the attack because he doesn't have a stick. Orpik says, I got to take this guy because there's no other way I can play him. Van Riemsdyk hangs in there well. Fleury doesn't do anything. Well, that's a tough sequence there for James Van Riemsdyk. Welcome back.
Down the left wing. Kennedy shoots. Safety's gone loose in front and backhanded just wide by Stahl. Orpik. Giroux leaving for Jágr. Jágr turnaround shot. Stick save. Fleury. 13, 12, and 13 goals were scored. Only 5 so far tonight. Penguins lead by 1. Centering pass, and Hartnell unable to get a stick on it. Flyers have Giroux, Briere, Hartnell, Voracek, and Jágr. 5 forwards plus Carl. Another face-off win for the Flyers. Carl's pass off the stick of Adams. Giroux shoots. Fleury was screened. Made the right pad save. Nothing. Out to the point for a shot by Carl. It's blocked by Adams. He clears. Puck gets chased. The Penguins are going to win Game 5. Fleury, the Game 5 hero for the Pittsburgh Penguins. He stops 14 Flyer shots in the third period, including 7 during one power play. And the Penguins, after falling behind in this series, 3 games to none, have forced a Game 6 in Philadelphia on Sunday. Despite no points from Crosby or Malkin, the Penguins win Game 5 3-2.
It's the Stanley Cup playoff presented by Geico. Game 6 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals. The Philadelphia Flyers up 3-2 can wrap it up on home ice against their arch rivals, the Pittsburgh Penguins. What an atmosphere we expect here at Wells Fargo Center.
Marc-Andre Fleury of the Penguins allowed 2 goals on 26 shots in his Game 5 win. He has bounced back strongly after being pulled in game number 3. And for the Flyers, the focus once again on Ilya Bryzgalov. 3 goals on 23 shots in Game 5. He's allowed 3 or more goals in each of his last 10 playoff games. And so, here we go, Game 6.
The Penguins had all kinds of problems at various points in the series with their discipline. Evgeny Malkin lost it a little bit in Game 5. He took 2 really undisciplined penalties.
Crosby and Giroux, who actually fought each other in the wild Game 3 here in this building. Start things off as the puck is deflected near the Pittsburgh bench, and Crosby is knocked to the ice with a hard hit as Dupuis back the other way. That puck is in the glove of Ilya Bryzgalov.
Have come in the first period.
Well, after getting rattled around in Game 5, run over by Evgeny Malkin, the game doesn't start any easier for Sidney Crosby. He doesn't have the puck, and Claude Giroux just flattens him just outside the blue line.
Steals that puck away from Letang and comes in. Another puck stolen away by Giroux. Walks in and shoots. 2 seconds in, it's 1-0 Flyers.
5 minutes ago, Claude Giroux told me that he loves the pressure. He wants it because it makes you sharp. Well, he flattened Sidney Crosby before the game's 10 seconds old. And then on a turnover inside the blue line, the first shot of the afternoon off the post and in, Claude Giroux's answered the bell. The Flyers lead 1-0.
Penalty coming up. Tyler Kennedy walks in, shoots. That's blocked. Rebound, loose in front. Straight with a shot. That's blocked as well. An advantage. Drop pass to Letang. Shovels that across to Niskanen. Now Niskanen shoots. Picked up by Bryzgalov. His stick knocked out of his hands. He has to retreat to the bench. And Hartnell body slams McCulloch.
Strong forecheck by the Philadelphia Flyers on the last shift. It was Scotty Hartnell coming in. He gets a beat on Zbynek McCulloch. That's an intelligent hit. It's a forceful hit, but he comes in and sort of swoops around and hits him along the same line as the boards. He didn't run it from behind.
Different defenseman in this series. Then comes Stahl across the line. Schenn taken down, and that'll be it. It's Pittsburgh's Matt Cook. Drops it back to Timonen to Voracek. Works it across. Giroux with a drive. Fleury comes across and makes the stop. Sidney Crosby scores! Looked like Hartnell got the last touch, or Voracek, but it's 2-0 Philadelphia.
After Voracek misses the net, the Flyers get the puck back immediately. And it gets over to Giroux. Peter Laviolette has told us that they always want the puck to go through Giroux. That's Scott Hartnell that's going to get the goal. McCulloch is tied up with Simmons after the puck is saved off the goal line momentarily by Vitale. It goes right back out in front. It's right here. Vitale wants to keep it alive. He does. Simmons dives into the net, pokes it through Marc-Andre Fleury's legs. The Flyers have 2 goals on their first 4 shots, and they lead 2-0.
There's a great Hartnell down. He scored in back-to-back games on the power play, and that's 7 straight goals in the series for Philadelphia with the man advantage. Comes Giroux to Yager. Yager, the shot was blocked. Gets it back, a backhand shot. And that floated almost under the crossbar until Fleury swatted it away. Back in front, Hartnell shoots. Oh, he just missed. Yager back with it. Walks back out and shoots. Fleury to save, and he's got the rebound.
It started on the rush, the drop pass here to Yager. Watch McCulloch. Great stick, not once, but twice. Comes right back on him again and doesn't allow it. But later on in that same shift, after Fleury knocked it behind the net, Crosby just barely deflects that pass on its way to Hartnell. Because of that, the puck was spinning.
Across to Voracek, one-timer. Fleury to save, rebound, loses it back. Big jab away, and Hartnell thought he tipped it home, and somehow it stayed out. On the ice, Shen. Briere back in front of Yager, even Caroline shoots, but it floated up high. Bouncing puck, Yager lifted it high. Yager chips that in deep, and the Philadelphia Flyers will go to the dressing room with a 2-goal lead, hoping it's closing time on this Sunday in Philadelphia.
Well, take a look at one early on in the game. He had a big hit on Briere, and then after Yager had redirected, it's actually a 1-2 punch. That was Neal that came in from behind. Yager identifying both of them.
He's got Shen and Briere with him. Break wide to go. Briere in, shoots, Fleury save, and the net comes off as Dupre goes flying into it.
The building doesn't like it. The Flyers bench doesn't like it, but Dupre blows a shoe and ends up knocking the net off its mooring. But again, this line adjustment by Peter Laviolette to put Voracek on the Shen-Briere line pays dividends. Voracek makes a fantastic pass through the legs of Braden Shen. Fleury makes the save. Dupre's already fallen down. Watch Dupre to the right. He's already on his knees.
10th on the all-time list. Now long shot.
That is like getting an anvil dropped on your head. That's a 50-foot wrist shot with no screen. It doesn't sink. Well, it does sink, but still, Fleury's got to be able to stop this. Eric Gustafsson has had a wonderful start to his playoff career. This deflects a bit off of the stick of McCulloch as I look at it again, but it's from 45 feet. He's got to stop it. He doesn't. And now the Penguins are in an enormous hole. Fleury was so instrumental to their Game 5 win. Dan Bylsma's trying to stall and not take his time out.
Dan Bylsma is normally a very calm guy, but he senses this team needs a good talking to. This is during the commercial break. Everybody in, everybody. He gave it to him pretty good. There's so much noise in here, it's impossible to hear what he says, but I could definitely hear him saying, using the words refocus, let's go, and getting in literally in everybody's face. Let's get going, trying to get the energy level out, snap the fingers, let's go here, boys.
And the fans in Philly have a little more fun at the expense of Sidney Crosby.
As the Flyers have scored 3 times on 13 shots in Game 6. Malkin works his way in. Got Letang with him, trying to bounce out in front, and Timonen got in the way. At the line, Niskanen holds it and plays it down to Letang. Taken down by Couturier. Now Neal centered it. Jam play side of the goal. Malkin shoots hit the goalpost. Brizgalov got a piece of that, but it clanged off the iron. Now Brizgalov back in his crease as the puck bounces out in front, and Simmons with it. And we're going to get a hooking call against the Flyers with 13:03 to go in the second period.
The much maligned Brizgalov dodges one here as the puck comes to Malkin in front of the net. Malkin goes up top, clangs it off the bar, and here's the penalty in front of the net as Malkin is all tied up with Kimmo Timonen. Timonen goes to the box.
The series is back and Letang hammers it into the inboard. To the center, and a quick shot by Giroux, stopped by Fleury. To Neal, trying to drop it back for Dupré, and it's banked up quickly. Here come the Flyers, shorthanded again. Matt Reed works in front of shoots. He whistled that high and wide. And it was Reed who led all rookie goal scorers at 24. Off Couturier, took the steal, backhand shot, Fleury to save. And Couturier falls 30 seconds to go on a Pittsburgh power play. As Couturier's late getting back, Malkin is, waits, shoots, scores! Evgeny Malkin, power play goal! And the Penguins are back in it.
What patience and what a release by Evgeny Malkin. He's got a couple different options to go with the puck, but he hangs on to it and then beats Brizgalov with a perfect shot to the blocker side. Crosby turns it over. Nice play by Couturier. And then Fleury makes the stop, shuts the door on that chance, and Malkin goes end-to-end. Look at the options. He's got Crosby wide open to his left, but he buries this. The league's leading goal scorer with 50 during the regular season beats Brizgalov. And in a series where the big save has been tough to get.
Briere has it along with Schenn and Voracek. Jacob Voracek works in. Voracek back for Briere with a shot. Fleury saves, Schenn on it. Fleury down. He scores! Johnny Briere!
We spoke before the game about the Briere line getting torched in their last two games. -16. Peter Laviolette made an adjustment on this line as Voracek goes on to the right wing, but this puck deflects off of Brooks or off of Milan Michalek rather. Voracek's pass to Briere hits Michalek. A horrible bounce for the Penguins as it goes off Michalek through the legs of Fleury. And by a couple of inches, the Flyers lead 4-1.
36 seconds after the Malkin power play goal, the Flyers restore their 3-goal lead, and Briere just saw the replay. And Danny Briere has his 5th of these playoffs. That's 12 goals, Ray, in his last 16 playoff games back to last year. He is money in the postseason. Jaromir Jagr looks ahead to Hartnell. Hartnell shovels that in front, bounce, and punch Giroux in, and it just bounced off his stick. Now Fleury down, Jagr with a chance. It's good after the benches too. In comes Neal, great move, shoots. Brizgalov knocks it away. Loose puck in front, but down the way. Neal with a second chance, and Brizgalov won't win any points for style, but he keeps it out.
James Neal plays with a heavy stick. When he makes a move, he's ready to shoot it as soon as he comes out of the move. Look how quickly he gets this puck away. It's deflected, and then Brizgalov, the chicken wing right elbow save. Crosby with the rebound. It slowly works his way where the Flyers netminder's able to cover it up.
Power play, here's Letang with it. Hartnell's back out. Crosby back across. Niskanen shoots. Brizgalov the same up and can't find it. And he does.
He's not had to be brilliant, but he's had to be solid. He was beaten by one perfect shot, and here's the stop on Niskanen. He gets across to make the save. Brizgalov has been beaten a few times in this series with that play. The pass from Brizgalov's right, or his left rather, to his right. He's been slow getting across. That time he was on the mark.
Now a lead pass to Hartnell. Hartnell buys some time and drops it back to Giroux. Giroux spins and shoots, and Fleury's got it with the glove.
Well, you look for your big stars, especially if you're the Pittsburgh Penguins, to get you back into this one down on the scoreboard. Sidney Crosby has had it tough tonight. Right off the bat, he gets hit by Giroux. He hasn't had any extra time or extra room out there. They are playing him hard, man for man, no matter where he is in that offensive zone. He has to work for everything. The guy does have tremendous balance and quickness, but when you got somebody draped all over you all the time, and what you notice here is it's somebody different. It's just not one shadow.
Couturier back with it. He finds Wellwood. Works in front. That pass just missed Talbot. Now spinning and shooting is Couturier. He put it wide. Claude Giroux tips it across the Voracek, trying to return the pass. And up Giroux shoots. And a screen. Marc-Andre Fleury makes the save. That's the line. Picked back up by Dupré. And Carl will flip that back down as Fleury gloves that carefully. And gets a sarcastic cheer from these Philadelphia fans who are loving every second of this.
Gord, so no penalty is called.
And now Malkin gives Couturier a slash before the face-off. And Malkin giving referee Kevin Pollock an earful. And Crosby wins the draw back. Look at the 19, the shot for Philadelphia in a 4-1 lead. Letang across the line. Letang trying to drop it for Malkin. Now Letang back on it. Final second of the period. Neal. A puck there by Coburn. And Coburn's got the loose puck. Go back that to the line and out. And the Philadelphia Flyers are 20 minutes away from knocking out the Pittsburgh Penguins. 4-1 is the score. Yager in across the line. Drops it back to Briere. Fired that high and wide. Went to Chapman and lit it up. Now Kennedy with a steal. Backhand shot of Brizgalov to save. James Neal driving in. Here comes Neal. Another chance. Dribbles that down in front. And Brizgalov has it as Thielen takes Neal down hard into the end boards. A volleyball played in and Coburn to knock it away. And Malkin, great move, shoots. Brizgalov save it. Pinballs off the defender. The leg of Matt Carl, and Brizgalov has it.
Well, they're going to get another power play here. As Malkin makes a terrific move coming out of the corner.
And Talbot jawing with Kunitz.
Braden Coburn, who's had a real strong series, underrated on the Flyer defense. He's going to the box, but it's really not he who commits the foul. It's
and Letang swallowed that loose puck, and now it's taken away by Giroux. He's in behind Letang. Claude Giroux taken down. And there's no penalty.
Nor should there be. That's a terrific play by Letang. He can get going. Giroux gets out. And look at Giroux trying to shield him. Giroux loses his balance as he's trying to lean up against Letang. As Letang steps away, Giroux loses the balance point, and his skates slide out. Great feeling for him. He'll get a few days of rest.
Talbot, short-handed. What a move by Talbot! And Neal came back in the last second to take that away. And the Flyers were able to play as Briere has it. Sends it ahead to the check. Shen missed that pass. A little high to handle, and now Shen back in deep. Who knew what Yager would have when he came back to the NHL? Now a steal. Yager walks it and shoots. Trying to save. Rebound. Hartnell had it blocked.
Evgeny Malkin's afternoon, one goal. That was a terrific shot that he made, but for the most part, he's had to fight through just incredibly heavy traffic. Everybody in his face all the time. Couturier, the guy who's been assigned to him most of the time, seems to know exactly what Evgeny Malkin wants to do.
Last night, there was no great joy in St. Louis. It was just an exhale from Ken Hitchcock and Doug Armstrong.
Letang's long shot knocked away by Brizgalov. Crosby's comment as this puck is stolen away. Wellwood shoots, and Fleury makes the stop on him. But the Costa Letang backhands that in front. Kunitz down to Neal. Neal in, shoots. Brizgalov down, puck is in. Power play goal for the Pittsburgh Penguins. And it's 4-2 with 3:02 to go. And Max Talbot is losing it on the officials, as is Brizgalov.
Kelly Sutherland and Kevin Pollock back out of the crowd to confer no goal. And the Penguins are going to be as infuriated as Brizgalov and Talbot were moments earlier.
long shot deflects wide of the goal. And Niskanen's shot goes up, and that'll give him a chance to empty the lungs again. From him, Wellwood tears that out. And the Flyers are going to close it out. Now the puck stolen by Schenn. Braden Schenn scores! Braden Schenn had that fantastic game one. A three-point game, and how appropriate, Ray, that a rookie will close out the scoring for the Flyers.
They've done it all year for the Flyers. Schenn, who missed time with a concussion and a broken foot this year, had the 3 points in game one. In games 4 and 5, he was part of a line that got ripped apart, yet he's come back strongly. The rookie closes it out, and this is a happy bunch of Flyers who will go on to round two.
An exhilarating, breathtaking, bitter series comes to a close as the Flyers end it in 6.
Peter Laviolette and Dan Biles must shake hands as the coaches exchange thoughts at the end of the series. Look at Claude Giroux, hands on his head after just a fabulous series. The disappointment for the Penguins.
Malcolm will almost certainly be the NHL's MVP in June, but his season ends in April. And now the handshakes.
Your round two tickets now by calling us to invite Tony Buck to be a part of playoff hockey in Philadelphia. Once again, there it is on the board, 215-218-UCA.
Crosby and Giroux shake hands after their bitter tussle in game 3. And the Philadelphia Flyers will hear knock knock for the 4th time. Their post-game dressing room song, and Max Talbot with his great friend Marc-Andre Fleury. Philadelphia advances to the second round. And Max Talbot, with an emotional series and an emotional win, is with Ray Ferraro.
Max, winning a playoff series is exceptional. What's it like for you to beat that team?
It's obviously really special. You know, it's something. It was not an easy decision for me this summer, but you know, it went well the whole season, and I'm really proud of the guys here. You know, we were underdog, and we showed a lot of character in that playoff series.
You won a Stanley Cup. Have you ever been in a series quite like this?
No, you know, it was pretty wild. It was crazy. Yeah, a little bit of everything. I'm sure the fans loved it. And it was definitely one for the ages. You know, it was fun to be part of.
Go get some rest. Congratulations. See you in round 2.
Thank you.
And this afternoon's first star and Flyer, Claude Giroux.
So Philadelphia will now wait for the other 3 Eastern Conference series to end, and that could be as late as Thursday. So the importance of ending it early, paramount for the Flyers, who took a 3-0 series lead and finally got it done in 6. And this is a 6-game series that will long be remembered by fans in both cities and around the NHL.
I don't think Claude Giroux has to encourage this crowd to make noise, but he does that, gets a hug from Ilya Bryzgalov, and here's Claude with Brian.
Claude, the emotion of this series and all the chaos that sometimes went on, it ends up being a close series when Pittsburgh winning the last two games. What was your approach after having lost his last two?
Yeah, we weren't too happy about Game 4, Game 5, and coming in front of our fans in Game 6, we wanted to outwork them, and I think it was a full team effort tonight.
I have to ask you about that hit on Crosby in the first couple of seconds of the game. Is that just one of those opportunistic things that you see that second and it drives you forward?
Well, usually we never get a good start, and I was just trying to spark the team up, and I was able to kind of get a little hit on him and kind of got the boys going.
The defensive part of your team game just got better and better as this series went on.
Yeah, I mean, it starts with Brizgalov. I mean, everybody's putting a lot of heat on him, but really, he's one of the best goalies in the league, and he wants to win so bad, and you can see he's working hard, and we're very happy for him that he was solid tonight for us.
Thanks, Claude. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Well, I think you can see why Brizgalov gave Giroux a hug. Pretty good words from a leader in that locker room in a series where goaltending was so tough in terms of the numbers.
He doesn't have the puck, and Claude Giroux just flattens him.
I want to congratulate the Flyers and their organization on the series win, and I really can't wish them good luck, though. But
a little bit about Giroux's leadership, you know, kind of how he's grown in the last couple of years into more of a leadership type role.
Not only leadership, but I mean, his game tonight was monstrous. It really was. When the best player in the world comes up to you and tells you, I don't know who you're planning on starting tonight, but I want that first shift. I mean, that says everything you need to know about Claude Giroux right there. Claude had a great game. It was from start to finish. He made sure that the Flyers moved on to the second round, along with every other guy in that locker room. But it does have to be led somewhere, and when your best players make a statement like that, you know, that's exactly what you need to happen. He was so adamant that he wanted that first shift. That you know, line matchups didn't matter at that point, and who we wanted. He wanted to get out on the ice. He wanted to make a statement, and that's again, I just think it goes to speak to Claude, because you see the skill, but sometimes you don't know that, you don't hear that, you don't get that feel for him, or maybe you do, but we do, and I do, and for him to come up and say that before the game, I think it speaks volume to him as who he is, not only as a player and his skill, but who he is as a person.
And that is all she wrote. In Philadelphia, the Devils will move on with a 3-1 win tonight over the Philadelphia Flyers.
And I mean, they did it so strongly. This is an unbelievable series for the New Jersey Devils. You know, oftentimes we criticize the Flyers for not being able to get things going and mount any sort of attack. You've got to tip your hat to the New Jersey Devils.